Thank you all for joining this training. And I hope, inshallah, we get the maximum benefit out of it. Like before we start, let's break the ice and just introduce ourselves. I know most of us know each other, but just for the ones that do not know the others also. So I'm Suha, and I'm data security specialist. I have managed many projects in compliance, including NDMO regulation. So this is a brief about me. If you can please also, Zuhair.
Yes, assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Zuhair Amin. I'm mainly working as a data management consultant, so I am handling the NDMO and PDPL projects.
Appreciate it. Okay, Nov.
Yes, Suha. Hi, everyone. I'm Nov Al-Harbi. I'm data specialist working on many projects related to NCA, NDMO regulation, and etc.
Hadiqa.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Hadika Nasser, and I'm a GRC consultant, and I mostly work with SAMA standards.
Appreciated. Fatma.
Yes, I'm Fatma, and I'm a cybersecurity specialist, and I'm training in TSG.
Appreciated. Dana.
I'm Dana. I'm a quality specialist. I training in TCG.
Thanks, Dana. Shihana. Okay, Shihana, can you hear us? Okay, no issue. So Shihana, she's also one of the trainees here in TCG. She's cybersecurity also specialist. And I believe we have another one, which is Nu'man. Inshallah, we will get introduced to him. Okay, he's joining. Yes, he joined. How are you, Nu'man?
Rahman, can you hear us?
Yes. Yes, I can hear.
Okay, we're just introducing ourselves and just explaining the areas that we work in. So would you mind just quickly introducing yourself to everyone else?
Yes, I am Noman Ahmed, working at Grexo Consulting as a GRC consultant. So I have worked on different projects like HIPAA and insurance sector, and now I'm here for this training.
Perfect. Thanks, Nu'man. Thanks for the brief. Okay, so I believe we can also start. So this training, inshallah, will be for 8 days. We will be, inshallah, at the end of this course, covering all NDMO domains and also regulations that has been issued by NDMO so far. The duration of the session, each session will be 1 hour. We can extend it to 1 hour and 15 minutes if needed. So what is NDMO? We are keep saying NDMO. So NDMO is the abbreviation for the National Data Management Office. National Data Management Office is an entity here within Saudi Arabia that is responsible for issuing and developing regulations and standards regarding data governance and management that cover all area of data management. And so far, NDMO has developed many standards. The most known one or the most important one to the entities is this one, data management and personal data protection standards framework. Okay, and inshallah we will go through it during this sessions. Also, I should national data index. Also, we will go through it because in this standard, NDMO has defined the maturity levels and like how to determine which levels the entity are with respect to data management practices. Also, NDMO has published in national data governance policies that covers the 5 policies, which is data classification, data sharing, personal data protection, and also the data value. Also, NDMO has developed this personal data protection law, another document that issue also the implementation for the personal data protection law. So for the framework, as we can see here, this is the structure of the framework. They have divided the areas of the data management and data governance into domains, into specifically, let's say, 15 domains. Each domain will cover a certain area. Also, each domain will have some specification that should be fulfilled and implemented. We can see here in this table the numbers of specifications for each domain. To be honest, like NDMO, to facilitate the job for the entities on how to implement this framework, they have divided the specification into priorities, like B1, B2, B3. That means that the entities should implement and develop what is required or what is mentioned here in B1 before moving to B2, and then should fulfill B2 before moving to B3, like just to make things easy for implementation and tracking. Like mainly in B1, it's concerned with, developing the documentation, having the policies, processes, frameworks, strategies, everything that related to making the foundation for the data management in general. When moving to B2, here we are talking more about tools implementation and to automate the processes and make everything by the tools. Not everything, but most of the things. Last, for B3 specification, it's also mainly with the continuous improvement of what has been developed, what has been implemented, measuring KPIs, making improvement based on the KPIs result, and etc. For the data security and protection domain, this is the 15th domain. If you check the NDMO framework, this framework, data management and personal data protection framework, you will notice that NDMO doesn't cover any specification regarding this domain, data security and protection, and make the responsibility of that under NCA. So for those who doesn't know NCA, like NCA is the National Cybersecurity Authority. It's Saudi national authority in Saudi Arabia, like responsible for publishing standards and controls related to cybersecurity. And in this regard, it's already like published the DCC, which is Data Cybersecurity Control. So along with this DCC and also the essential cybersecurity controls, like this will be covered for this domain. Okay, in general, the total for the specification is 191 specification that divided, as you can see here, between these domain. Okay. So the structure of the framework, is it clear, or you want me to explain more?
Yeah, I just have a question here.
Yes.
What is the difference between the controls and specifications?
Yes. So the controls is the main, let's say, umbrella, and then the specification is the the specified,
parts of the
let's say,
controls?
control. Yes, it will be. And if let me show you how it's look like, so we will get the idea. Yes, if we go to the framework itself, let's go to the data governance, for example. See here, this is the control, the main umbrella under for each specification, a strategy and plan, for example, and plan, and then you will have the main concern for us, the specification, because this is like we should implement each specification.
Okay, got it.
So like at the end, the control will be play as the categorization, then under it will be the specification. Yes, okay. So like before, let's say implementing and go and start implementing the specification and see and develop the document and these stuff, there are like, we recommend, and this should be done, to have this business understanding activities. So it's not the case that I have the NDMO framework and I will go and start implementing the specification and developing the document and this stuff. Like before this step, we should have the business understanding. We should, for any client, like we should review what is already available with them. We should conduct meetings, understand how the processes within their environment. If they have data management system, we should also have walk through that. If needed, we can also request for evidences. Why? Because like NDMO regulation, it's not only concerning the data management office of that entity, no, it's cross-functional like entity or department, let's say. That means it works with every department within the entity. It works with HR, with IT, with cybersecurity. If they have archival unit, yes, they also will be involved with that. Business continuity. So because that data management, let's say, office will work with all of these entities, we need to understand the role of each of them, like clearly and very well before starting the implementation. Okay. So, and also define, by that, if you start doing the business understanding, by default, you will be able to know your stakeholder. Who's responsible for what? Because by that, first, you will facilitate the communication for yourself. You see, like the domains, it's 15 domain. That means it's not something easy or something like only concerning a small group of the entity, you know. It will, you will be, let's say, communicating with different departments at the same time. That's why it is important to define a stakeholder and know exactly the role of the departments there. As I said, like to facilitate communication, to know to whom you will send, for example, this questionnaire, to whom you will address this issue, and also for proper assigning roles and responsibilities. Because while you are developing the document, okay, you should also in each policy or process or any like procedure, you should define the role and responsibilities, right? And you cannot just define it based on templates or make it general. It will be perfect if you assign it to the accurate stakeholder. By that also you will avoid any let's say embarrassing with the client. If you just keep if you assign certain like or random role and responsibilities based on the best practice, and you just then submit the document. This is, I believe, like it will be an issue with the client, because at the end we will have document with no value. So that's why, like, defining the stakeholder from the beginning, it's like important step. And as like I said, you can do that through the meetings, requesting if they already have role and responsibilities document, it will be great. Also, you can request the organization structure to know which department they already have, what the processes they might have. Also, you can request the process inventory if they have, because in that document or in that, the document they might let's say assign or already establish their responsibilities. Okay. Data management maturity assessment. Yes, so part of the business understanding activities is, like when you start understanding the environment there, this will support you in doing the data management maturity assessment. Okay, so what is data management maturity assessment? It's the process to assess the current level of the entity's capability, okay, about the data management practice. You will know and you will understand what they do have, like the existence environment of the regarding data management. The tools, for example, if they have, what about employees? Are they aware of data management or not? What about the processes? Is there any process related to the data management or not? Okay, so the goal of the data management maturity assessment is to determine how developed and effective the organization practice regarding the data management, and also to identify the strengths and the area for improvement. And NDMO already developed maturity level. Okay, it's from 0 to 5. It's similar to the normal maturity assessment. I believe like most of you have conducted this. Maybe here you will notice like there's difference in the naming, but at the end, like when we say level 3, that means that the entity already have the required documentation, and they have the implementation based on what has been documented. Then for level 4, that means there is KPIs and they have measuring that KPIs. The optimized, or let's say the pioneer level, which is the top one, that means they have already implemented everything. They have their KPIs measured and do the improvement based on the result. So in any maturity assessment, like we are always addressing to make the entities from level 3 and above. So this diagram is clear.
Just
Yes,
one thing I
please.
wanted to add here, Soha, if you don't mind.
Yes,
The National
Yes,
Data
please.
Index document that Soha mentioned previously is also sort of the guidance for conducting the maturity assessment, because it tells us exactly what we need to receive from the client to be able to mark them at level 3, at level 4, at level 5. So for conducting the maturity assessment in particular, the National Data Index is sort of the guiding document, because that tells you exactly what is the acceptance level, the acceptable evidence for each maturity level.
Yes, exactly. And inshallah, we will just go through it, that PDF document, after like in 2 slides. We will see, like as Zuhair said, the evidence is required and how we can use that document to support anyone. Even if you don't know how to conduct the maturity assessment, that document will guide you on how to assign the levels and have the final maturity level for the entity for each domain. Okay. So is it clear? Yes,
So
Sadia.
can you explain this maturity score band? Like that is from, like, there are different score bands for each maturity level. So once we
Yeah.
assign, yeah, just explain this.
Yes, yes,
if
please.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, Sadia, for this maturity score band, maturity percentage scale, you know, this is more regarding the when you like develop your Excel sheet and you want to have the measures and these levels in numbers.
Okay.
Okay, so for example, I will go through it. The Excel sheet that we developed, to be honest, doesn't include this numbers. It's only include the maturity level. But for the entities that want to have like specified or precise percentage or precise numbers about their levels, they can use this in form of formula. You can create this formula like, okay, for 0, it will be given the certain numbers and this stuff.
So that's
But I
that
believe,
is basically against the each controller specification, right? There is some weightage or
yes,
some criteria against each controller specification, and then when they calculate it, overall they get the percentage or the band, right?
exactly.
Okay, perfect.
To have the final percentage for each, let's say, domain or for the entire domains also.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Also, we have another assessment that we recommend also to do, which is, it's not recommendation, it's like a must to know exactly what are the gaps, which is the gap analysis. So this is important to do it. Why? To identify the gaps and any deficiencies within the current practice, and also to develop the action plan. Usually the gaps analysis, we have this categorization, either the specification or control will be compliant, partially compliant, non-compliant, and not applicable, based on the current situation in the entity. Like if, for example, if for certain specification, if they have the required documentation and the proper implementation, that means they are compliant. They will be partially compliant if either if they have documented that but not implemented, or there is implementation but there is no documentation. In this case, they will remain partially compliant. So they have to have both documentation and implementation to be compliant. Otherwise, they will fall here in partially compliant. If they don't have the documentation or not the proper implementation, for sure they will be non-compliant. For certain specification, it will be not applicable if, like for example, this certain specification cannot be implemented within the entity, so it will be not applicable to them. For example, if we for the clouds, cloud controls and these stuff, if the entity doesn't use cloud services, that means it's not applicable on them to implement the cloud controls. Like briefly, to avoid any confusion between the maturity assessment and gap assessment, the maturity assessment is to assess the organization capabilities, whether they have it or not. And it will be like, here it says like, it will be general. It will provide you the holistic view about the organization status. While gap assessment is to like pinpoint or to assign or define the gaps, exactly what are the gaps, what are the deficiencies, and to create based on that an action plan to address and close these gaps. Okay, like this is in general the differences between them. Like both of these assessments are important to know the current status and also to be able to create a roadmap and action plan. Okay, so now we can go to the index, the national data index, and as also Zuhair said, this index, it's already shared in the email. You can also check that document. So this document includes the maturity questions for the specification. Even if you don't know how to conduct the maturity assessment, or if you are like, you know, in a position that you said, okay, so this is level 2 or level 3, this guidance will support you. And also it provides and gives you the acceptance evidence, like what should you request from the client. So this is like, it's a huge document, but we can like only go through this, for example, for one table, and the other tables also will be the same. So for example, they have divided based on the domains, and for each domain they have list questions. Okay? For each like level, they will give you, okay, what is the acceptance evidence to us, or what like always like recommend is to always reach the entity to level 3, because level 3 and above is the like, let's say, based level or maturity level. And also they have linked the evidences with the also specification. You can see here DG data governance 1.3, that means data governance specification number. One, it's from the control, and also 3, the number of the specification. Okay, and also the rest will be the same. That means that for each level, what is the acceptance evidence for it, and how to link it with the related specification. So is it like understandable, do you think, or?
So is this accepted evidence is for the like related specification only? For example, it is written that in the second row of the acceptance evidence, it is written that approved compliance management framework. Is it related to DG 5.1 only?
Yes, it is related to this specification. But again, Hadiqa, you can also from that specification itself, if you read it, some evidences will be overlapped, and you can use the same evidence for the other one. So understanding the exact specification will make things easy for you to determine what you need.
Okay.
Again, also you can use.
Sorry.
Yes, please.
Okay, so even if the specification is not mapped here, but it may fall under the other specifications as well, the acceptance evidence, right?
Could you please repeat?
Yeah, for example, again, this DG 5.1, the acceptance evidence for this can be mapped to other specifications as well if it is related to like compliance management framework.
Yes, it can be used if it's related to it, exactly.
Okay.
Right, and also the same for other domains, for the other 15 domains. See here, for the metadata and that catalog, they will also specify the acceptance evidence for that. Okay, if we go to the main framework.
Yes, sorry, but just one more question related to the evidence. If the client provides evidence not mentioned here on the list, based on what we are evaluate the evidence and see this is acceptable evidence or not?
Yes, this will be based on your understanding about the specification. Okay, because for example, they might give you a report from Manage Engine from their IT system, and they will tell you, okay, this is the evidence for this specification regarding, for example, the quality management. Usually, this report, it's not mentioned here in this index. Why? Because they will not be, they didn't mention here the exact reports or the exact system that you should like extract, but they will say, okay, for example, they will say the evidence required is the quality assessment report. So like from where this report is extracted or what exactly it is, this is, you should read it and evaluate it. Does it include all the requirement from the specification? If yes, that means it is accepted. If no, that means you should reconsider.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
But it's all about, see here, it's all about understanding the specification here from this framework. They already have the specification and they already have it, the explanation for that specification. They didn't only like give you the specification and that's it. No, they give you some requirements, like, okay, strategy. They said you should have a strategy. They not like also they specified what this strategy should include. They should include, for example, KPIs, the challenges, the required budget, and etc. The more that you read this document and you just get the idea of it, the more it will be easy just to define by yourself without going back to this index PDF. You will be like by default knowing the accurate evidence. And don't worry, like we will go inshallah through these domains from tomorrow, start for the data governance. We will try inshallah to cover most of the specification, just to be familiar with that.
Yes, it's good.
So, okay, great. So it is clear, like this maturity assessment gap sheet. Yes, we can also go here. Let me introduce this also sheet, the Excel sheet. This is the maturity assessment sheet for each specification. We said it's 191 specification. It's already here. And when you define the maturity level, you should also define it for each specification based on the guidance provided by the NDMO. Right, and here also you have the dashboard for the result, for the overall result. Right, and also we have this gap sheet. Looks like this, the same specification, and also the priorities with the compliance level, and also the most important thing here in the gap sheet is the action tracker. The action tracker in which you will assign the responsibilities, who will do this, who will close this gap, and what should be done. Based on the, as we said, in the business understanding.
So,
Yes.
can we combine the maturity assessment and gap assessment in the same sheet? Like it's we can it's like, is it different? Gap assessment is the same sheet, is the same as that the maturity assessment sheet.
If
The
you
only
mean
difference is
this,
yeah, like we can measure the maturity at the same time, and we are determining the gaps as well. Because
yes,
we
we
have
can.
to define the action for both the purpose. Like for when we are assigning the maturity level, we have to define the action, that what will be the next action, and the action tracker, and the same thing for the gap analysis. So we can combine both of them in one sheet, right?
Yes, we can combine it, but then you will have two like levels of categorization. You will have the maturity level, and then you have the compliance status. So I believe this might like confuse the client.
Okay, then. Okay.
What we have done, but I get you, like, it depends. It depends on the client, like, let's say, desire. They want to combine both, because eventually, if the compliance status changed from, let's say, not compliant to compliant, the maturity level for sure will increase.
Because we used to do the same thing in SAMA when we are assessing the maturity level and determining the gap. We are doing in parallel. Both.
In SAMA, in SAMA, I believe they have maturity levels without compliance status. And
But
they're
when,
right?
yeah, but we have to determine what's the compliance level for each
Yes.
domain. So we used to do the same at maturity assessment and the compliance status side by side, right? Yeah, we used to determine both the things at the same time, and then determine the action on the basis of both the things, right? So it's okay.
Yes.
So I got the point.
So you can do it as easy for you or as easy for the client. At the end, if the compliance status will increase, for sure the maturity level will also increase.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So this is what I have for today. Let me know if you have any question. Inshallah, tomorrow we will start from the domains and go through the specification. So do you have any question or anything to discuss? Or Zuhair, do you have anything to add?
No, thank you. I think for now everything is clear. Yes, Adita, you had a question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Do we submit the maturity assessment sheet to NDMO or the gap assessment sheet as well? Like as a
Yes, for
report
that,
or...
the client is responsible for this. So what we do, we we assist the client in filling the sheet and etc. And based on their process, like for example, for the insurance company, the compliance department responsible for sharing the result with I believe SAMA.
Yeah,
And
that's
also
fine,
for
but,
now the insurance authority for now.
Yeah, but in what form they submit the report? Do they submit the Excel sheet or in Word format?
And no, in the Excel sheet. It will be in the Excel sheet, not Word format.
Okay, maturity assessment sheet, right?
No, the gap sheet.
Okay, gap sheet. Okay,
The gap
fine.
sheet, yes. Okay, are there any further questions? No, Dana, Shihana. All clear, inshallah.
Yes, from my side, all clear for now. Thank you so much.